for Houston Sports Talk, and I'm talking with radio broadcaster for the Lancaster Jethawks, Jason Schwarz. First of all, Jason, just kind of give us your overall impressions of how the season's gone so far here at Lancaster.
Well, I mean, it's been a great season, and anytime you finish with a franchise best record in the first half, obviously things are going well, but it's been really exciting. Obviously, the Astros started the year putting their two of their top prospects here, the first overall picks from the last two drafts, Correa and Appel. So that stirred, a lot of attention, and, they've just had a bunch of other great, very exciting players here, like Tony Kemp, Teoscar Hernandez, Josh Hader, Roberto Pena. So, the team's played really well. We've had a no-hitter in the first half. We had a guy, Dan Gilbranson, hit for the cycle. The team got to play against Clayton Kershaw when he had a rehab start with the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. So it's been a tremendous first half.
Let's first of all start with those two back-to-back number one overall picks. Carlos Correa, unfortunate to have the injury sliding into third here in June, but what can you tell us about him? What did you see him do on a daily basis here, both in the field, in the clubhouse?
Well, one of the things I told myself after watching him play for the first couple weeks was that I was not going to let myself take it for granted, because it really was special watching him play every day, especially his defense. Just the way he never took a play off. He never takes a play off. His arm is tremendous. His range is great. I think he plays great defense, and that was great to watch. And then at the plate, he's one of the youngest players, the youngest player in this league, and was holding his own, batting .329 when he got hurt. I think his defense was a little bit ahead of the hitting, but he still was a tremendous presence at the plate here. Guys were pitching around him, and he was very solid.
What do you see as his ceiling in the big leagues? Just unlimited potential there?
I mean, I think so. I think he could be a shortstop for the Astros, year after year, the guy defensively, and certainly, has potential to be an all-star. I mean, he's just a tremendous talent.
And what about Mark Appel? You've been able to watch him, had to go back to extended spring training, back again now. He says he's getting into more of a routine, getting more comfortable. Is that what you're seeing too?
It's hard to say because he hasn't really been back that long since he went to extended spring training. Definitely you could see that something wasn't right early in the year when he was here, and I know that there was a lot of talk about the appendectomy that he had in the offseason and the shortened spring training. Clearly there was something that wasn't right, so he went back. He was gone for a month. Since he's been back, he's only made 3 starts, and he struggled a little bit in those starts. His last one was a bit better because he matched his season high with 5 innings, but certainly I think Mark would tell you that he's not incredibly comfortable right now on the mound, and you can see that watching him. And you just hope that as the season goes along, as you watch, you're going to see continued improvement, and I'm sure that'll come.
The Lancaster Jethawks also have a lot of other top pitching prospects here. Vincent Velasquez has been out since May, but he was pitching well here. And then you also have Josh Hader, who's been pitching like an ace, and Lance McCullers as well. Can you talk about those guys?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, Vasquez was tremendous when he was here for that first month, and he's just got great stuff. And there was one game he pitched. We were playing San Jose, and I've really never said this about a guy before, but he looked unhittable, and they couldn't touch him. But his changeup is great, fastball is great, and he had a curveball this year that I think I didn't get to see him a lot last year, but from what I heard, that was somewhat of a newer pitch, or at least he'd mastered it a little bit better, and it looked really good. Josh Hader has been great. He leads the league in ERA as of today. He's just been really, really tough. We saw him strike out 10 guys in 4 innings in one of his starts this year. He's a great story. He just turned 20 years old also. He's a great guy. Kyle Westwood is a guy who made the All-Star team. He came in with good numbers, but not a lot of fanfare, not a lot of attention. He just goes out there, he gets the job done. Lance McCullers, he's a guy, he throws hard. We've seen some really good outings from him. We've seen some outings where he struggled with his control a little bit. I know I've talked to a few people who see him as a reliever long term, but certainly when he's able to get his control in check, he has the potential to go deep in games and really put together some good starts.
Well, that would be very different from his father, because his father was a reliever in the big leagues and had a good fastball.
Yeah, exactly. And with Lance, I mean, the great thing is he can throw hard, but he's got a great curveball too. it's got good bite to it, and he gets a lot of swings and misses with that pitch.
Wanted to ask about some of the other players. You were mentioning briefly Tony Kemp in the infield, Rio Ruiz. Then you also have in the outfield Teo Hernandez. Can you just describe some of the other players that are in the everyday lineup that really impressed you so far this year?
Yeah, well, I think Kemp has been tremendously impressive since day one. He really hasn't hit a slump or anything like that. He's just a guy who really knows who he is as a player, which is great. He'll work a walk. He'll put the ball on the ground. He'll get on base. He'll run a little bit, and he leads the league in runs scored and hits. I mean, he just gets it done. Also defensively, he doesn't mess around. He just, he's not afraid to get down on the ground, and some of the balls he gets to, it's really, remarkable to see. And also the fact that he's only 5'6", I think a lot of people overlook him because of that, but, I haven't seen that really hinder him at all. And you look at a guy like Jose Altuve, who played here and then is in Houston now, and certainly, same size, and I think that gives a lot of people confidence in Kemp's ability to continue to do this at the next levels. Hernandez has been great since day one. He's an exciting player offensively, good speed on the bases, good power. In center field he covers a lot of ground. And Rio Ruiz, he's been solid as well. He's hit a couple big home runs. The power's come along a little bit since the beginning of the season, and he's just been solid at third.
What about Danry Vasquez, who was acquired last year from the Detroit Tigers in the Jose Veras trade? What does he look like here this season so far?
Danry hasn't really gotten hot at any point this year. In fact, at this point right now, he's not an everyday guy in the lineup. He's maybe 2 days on, 1 day off. He's got a nice swing. He doesn't strike out a lot, but there hasn't been much power this year. He has racked up a few doubles, but there just really hasn't been a stretch where he's really gotten hot. His average has hovered right around 250 for most of the year. But certainly from what we've heard, it's almost like we're just waiting for him to get hot and put that stretch together.
You mentioned a few of the exciting moments that have happened this year covering Lancaster, one of them being that combined no-hitter. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a no-hitter, that's obviously a big day and a fun moment to be a part of. And it was actually kind of crazy because the Jethawks had thrown a no-hitter just a year before. The no-hitter this year came 1 day after the 1-year anniversary of last year's no-hitter. So it was great. Josh Hader threw the first 6 innings, J.D. Osborne the next 2, and then Daniel Minor came in for the 9th. It was against Bakersfield, the top offense in the league, and at this park, which is certainly a good hitter's park. Although this year it's not playing as much as it has in the past as such a great hitter's park. We've seen the wind in a few times this year, but it was a no-hitter. I mean, that's tremendous.
Yeah, it's known as the Hangar out here, and it is a tremendous hitter's park. And does that give concern to a lot of pitchers who are called up here, get promoted to advanced Class A?
Yeah, I think, that's a storyline that, it's kind of played out. That's what everyone talks about with the pitchers, and everyone asks them. And I haven't noticed, I haven't heard a lot of guys complain about it. It's just one of those things where, you're here, so you need to do what it takes to be successful. And the one thing that we have seen, which is good, is that good pitchers can beat the conditions here. And you look at Josh Hader. I mean, he's pitched very well here. This park being a hitter's park has not affected him. I know he's got great stuff, but it's just a matter of doing what it takes to be successful. Pitch inside, keep the ball down, mix your pitches well, and if you can do that, you're going to be successful here, no matter what park it is.
Just want to ask you too about the Clayton Kershaw, the Lancaster Jethawks being able to go up against the reigning Cy Young Award winner, just threw a no-hitter already again this year, a dominant left-hander. What was that like, getting to see minor leaguers bat against one of baseball's best pitchers? The players were really excited about it. I think for everybody it was a great opportunity. I think, for the coaching staff, they were excited to see their players up against him. Guys were excited to hit against him. I was excited to call that game. And Rancho Cucamonga, they're the Dodgers affiliate and obviously close to LA, so they sold out that game. And there was just a great buzz and a great energy. And Kershaw pitched very well, and the guys went up there against him and they competed. They held their own. I think one of the greatest stories of the year is Carlos Perdomo, a guy who's been around for 7 years in the minor leagues, hit his 8th career home run off of Kershaw. That was great, and it also came on his birthday, Perdomo's birthday. So that was a lot of fun. And anytime you get to see a guy like Kershaw pitch, even if you're in the big leagues, it's a great experience. So
I think the guys really appreciated that and will remember that.
I noticed when you are at a minor league ballpark, there are always all these great promotions, and I'm just seeing here that there was already a Jose Altuve Star Wars bobblehead night, and there are just always a bunch of crazy promotions. What have been some of the ones you've remembered from this year?
From this year, well, certainly the Jedi bobblehead was a good one. I know Star Wars weekend is a really big thing here. I think it was good to tie in, one of the most popular players here with the Star Wars theme. I mean, this year we've got some really good ones coming up that I'm excited about. We have a couple jersey giveaways. We have a World Cup Jethawks jersey giveaway this Saturday, which should be pretty cool. Later in the season, we have Jethawks basketball jerseys. They're designed like the Lakers and Clippers, reversible. I think the Jethawks do a really good job with their giveaways and their promotions and their schedule. It's been a good year.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason. Really appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us on Houston Sports Talk.
You can listen to more of our interviews and podcast on HoustonSportsTalk.net. Subscribe to Houston Sports Talk for free on iTunes or on the Stitcher app.